This is Arthur Young's arc of evolution in the universe that holds true at every scale of biology and the evolution of consciousness. And so I've been applying it to every single issue that we've discussed in the Freedom Portal, because it is it's simply how the universe evolves. So if we're going to evolve out of this mess, it's helpful to have a roadmap. Okay, so this is 7 levels deep on illegal immigration. Level 1, pure potential. Okay, we refer to this as something happens out there in the world. And what's happening is people want to move around. Okay, but level 2 is where the problems usually come in. It starts getting spun. So the problem is, okay, some people want to control other people's movement. So if you follow the money on this, you'll realize that most of that attempt to control other people's movement is in order to own their obligation to pay taxes. In other words, to take over a tax base. When a country invades another tax base, they'll take over the Capitol building, they'll take over the communications. And really what all this is they're taking over the tax base. They don't particularly want the hassle of running a whole new country that they just took over, but they do want your money. So that's what it's about when you follow the money. And they take over the resources and all that kind of stuff. But this is the key phase. If you look deeper than, okay, the government says we're going to protect or we're going to expand our boundaries, follow the money. And then if you go to the root of that, it always leads back to the agenda for total control. And the agenda, it used to be that tyrants, wanted to take over their neighbor's village, and they wanted to take over the neighboring country or something like that. But it's grown, and for at least 200 years, I would say really 400. But the Illuminati was created in the same year that the U.S. Constitution was, and I think it was 1778, and the Illuminati movement was created in Europe to set out to conquer the entire world in the name of the elite bankers. So for at least 200 years, but I think that the Rothschilds, they started with the nation state and central banking and everything. Really about 400 years ago, this agenda has been going on. So there was a pipe dream, even 100 years ago. But then we had World War I, we had World War II, now we've got COVID, we've got the New World Order, we've got the Great Reset, and they are really close, as I've laid out many times, to accomplishing, at least in their minds, their agenda for total control. So that's scraping the bottom of the barrel. That's as low as it gets in terms of human behavior and morality. But it's also, once you realize that that's the key to creating solutions that are commensurate to the problem. So now here we are at the turn where consciousness comes into the evolution at a whole new level, self-awareness. And so what happens next is, what I'm recommending is that we go to national sovereignty. And this is where, please understand me here. I don't believe that nations do exist or should exist. However, the illusion of them has tremendous power over our lives right now. So when Trump says, I am a nationalist, and says, let's work for America first, I believe that a step toward thriving is for every nation to withdraw from the globalist totalitarian agenda and get your act together in your region. And that, I will maintain, means having secure borders so that you can get your economy together, not being taken over economically or physically by others. And that gives you a chance. So I'm in favor of the trajectory of pulling back from the totalitarian agenda for global control to recognizing national sovereignty. But keep going. Get rid of national sovereignty and go to local. In the U.S., it would be state sovereignty. It might be the provinces in Canada and so forth. So get rid of the national agenda and authority, the jurisdiction, and begin to localize it. And then go beyond the states to the counties, to the cities, and then finally to the individual sovereignty of owning yourself.